Preston legend, Graham Alexander, we've got some questions for you. Who was the best trainer during your time at North End?
Other than me? Do you know what, I think if I think back to from my first day to my last day in my first spell, Paul McKenna was the most consistent player that I played with, you know, in those 8 years. Probably played more games with him than any other player, and how he trained was how he played, and that's why he played so many games and got picked by all the managers. So I'd say Kenna.
Who was the worst?
It's not a nice question, that, is it? Worst player, worst trainer. It's not a nice.
It's not really. But I'll tell you what. The easiest one is the contrast between training and playing. So, off memory, Ricardo Fuller.
Oh yeah.
As a trainer would be.
Well, he said he was the best in training when we spoke to him.
Good, yeah.
Best. He probably scored the most goals, but then wouldn't do the other bits and pieces, and could, you know, it'd have days where he was unstoppable, and then other days where you think, well, he's not even on there. But when it comes to games, he was always there. He was an enigma sort of thing, but an unbelievable talent.
He did also say he hated running at the same time.
Well, there you go.
I'm not sure those two things go together, Ricardo, do they?
You know, yeah. We obviously, the physical side of it was important, certainly in the championship as well. So maybe that's the bit that's sticking in my mind. It was just a contrast between some days you didn't notice he was there, but in match days he was phenomenal, really.
You scored quite a few goals for Preston. What was your best?
Non-penalty.
Yeah, well, that'd be a non-penalty. I'd say I scored a goal against Watford at Deepdale. I think it was Watford, and it was from about 35 yards. As soon as it left my foot, I could see the trajectory. It was right in the top corner. It was absolutely like a rocket. So it sort of took me back to my younger days when I scored quite a few of those. But I'd say that one. Let
me just say, he scored quite a few of them for Scunthorpe.
Yes.
One being a left foot chip from 30 yards at Deepdale for Scunny. Winning goal, 80th minute.
It was, yeah. It was, it was 1994. I think it was at Deepdale. We were actually playing in Preston's tops because our kit man, we didn't have kit men. The apprentices forgot to put the tops in. So we actually wore Preston's away.
So
top.
That's why he scored such a good goal.
Really strange. And and it was I was playing right midfield, made a run across the line, got played in sort of down the left hand side, and David Moyes is coming across to tackle me on the video. It's a bit of a grainy
trying
picture.
To tackle you.
Yeah, but I didn't even take. I don't think I took a touch. I saw it, and I just saw the keeper off his line. And I think you're doing it a disservice at 30. I'm looking at 40 emails from me. But
long ball, it takes a deflection, but when it falls to Graham Alexander, how he takes his chance, an absolutely world class chip.
But it was left foot, top corner, and we won the game 1-0. So it was, that was my first ever goal at Deepdale, and it wasn't actually for Preston. Yeah.
But it was in a Preston shirt.
It was in a Preston shirt, yeah, amazing. So.
Well, it leads in quite nicely to this question. What's your favourite North End kit that you ever wore? It might even be one that you only wore for one game for Scunthorpe.
That was a terrible kit. It was horrible. I don't know. Look, I think all the boys loved it. Like, we had white, blue and white, but I think we loved it when now and then we had all white. So whenever we wore that sort of combination, I wouldn't actually go. I think they were all nice kits, but when we played in all white now and then, I think the boys quite like that, and I like that. It was really crisp and clear.
Have you kept many of your shirts?
I've kept nearly all of them, yeah. All the ones at the end of seasons, I've tried to keep important ones, playoff finals. Stuff like that. My last one, obviously, I kept that. I kept the whole kit actually. I stuffed everything, the shorts, socks, the lot, and auctioned my boots off a few years ago. But they're actually at Deepdale. At North End bought them instead. So that was brilliant. That was a real touching moment for me. But yeah, I've got tops all over in my attic, and I give some away for people ask for a charity auction thing or something like that, so I'll sign it and send it off. So because it's still a popular top.
Is there a most special Preston shirt? You're saying that last one?
Yeah, the last one really.
Were you 22?
22, yeah. 22. Yeah, because when I come back, I can't remember, it might have been Davy Gray, I had 2. Yeah. So I just went for 22 because that was my number at Preston before, and it was my number at Burnley. 22. So it's quite a special number for me now that. And so I've got that. I got the whole kit, and that's the most special top.
You didn't get everyone to sign it, did you? Because I was in that squad, and
yeah,
I never signed that.
No, I don't. No, do you know what? I just straight away in genuine, I put everything in my bag, because sometimes it get messed up, and then someone go, "I'll get your top," and it's not the top you wore. So I just went bang, chucked everything in my bag. So no, I didn't get it signed, unfortunately. But that's my favourite one. Or one
it was never a free kick, by the way. I've seen it back.
I saw it the other day.
It was Proc on the edge of the box.
Yeah, I reversed the pass into him, and he just didn't get a touch, and it wasn't a free kick. To be fair, it was. But you know what? We at North End, if you look at the amount of penalties that we won at that end, when I was playing, probably 90% of my penalties that I scored at Deepdale were at that end. There were, the town end and all that lot before just created a lot of pressure, and it wasn't a free kick, but I wasn't going to moan at that point.
Apart from Danny Haynes, now it's with Proctor. Or is he fouled? Proctor, he is. In fact, it was Holroyd who was fouled right on the edge of the penalty area.
Cootsy was stood next to you.
Yeah.
Did you just say, Coots, get away?
No. Straight away, I was straight on the ball, but it's weird because Will Hayhurst, who was a young player making his debut that day, he was my boot boy. But he never had anything to do because I always cleaned my own boots. So, but I had a little relationship with him, and I thought the free kick was too wide, so I told him to go middle of the pitch. I said, look, I'm going to look like I'm going to shoot, but I'm going to reverse it for you to have a shot, and see if you can score. And then Cootsy walks across, and he said, what are you thinking? And I told him what I was thinking. He went, are you effing mental? He goes, you're not going to kick it, this is your last game. Have a shot.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, and then walked off. I went, yeah, all right then. So Will Ayers is in the middle of the pitch waiting for this ball to be reversed for a shot, and then I started selling it to the goalkeeper. Like, I'm crossing it to the back post, make these runs and all this lot. And I just thought, get it over the wall. It's got a chance. And when it went in, phenomenal feeling, unbelievable.
And it comes now from Alexander. It is a shot. Oh, he scored! Graham Alexander's done it from the free kick. Absolutely unbelievable. The fairy tale is written, and this commentator cannot believe it. Graham Alexander on his final appearance as a professional footballer.
Unbelievable moment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was unbelievable just to see that. It wasn't a great season, but that was
honestly,
a great moment.
yeah, it's right. I think 24 years as a player, and then that was my last ever kick of a ball to score at Deepdale at the town end, and it meant it got us a draw against the champions, Charlton, really good team.
I suppose when you think about that, the amount of players that have tried to score on their last appearance and it never happens, for then you to score a goal like that, just makes it even better.
Because I didn't even think about that when I was coming on the pitch. Listen, if we'd have got a penalty, I'm sure I'd have been on it, and and I thought that would have been my best chance of scoring. But all I went on the pitch was thinking, don't mess up, don't make a mistake, don't look crap. That was
there was a few safe passes there.
So. Mate, honestly, I played very unlike me, because I was always ambitious when I'm passing and positive. But I was just, honestly, if you watch it, 8 minutes of just going 5-yard passes like I don't know, it was just boring really. But I just didn't want to look rubbish. And then we get that free kick, and the rest is history.
It was definitely one of those big moments. Sort of, were you there inside the stadium?
Yeah. I've so many people, talk to me about it now, like Preston fans obviously, but they say about it, and every now and then I'll watch the YouTube videos from the supporters behind the goal, because it was a free kick. They were all getting the cameras out, and they're going, come on Grezza, and they come on keeper, let it in, blah blah blah, all this sort of stuff. And then the feeling when it goes in, and there's so many different angles, brilliant angles as well, right behind the goal and stuff like that. And just the emotion in the stand, it just blows me away. I prefer watching them than the actual TV footage, because the TV footage is good, but it's all the YouTube videos are amazing.
I was going to ask what your favourite Deepdale memory is, but I guess that's right up there, is it?
It is as a for my personal feelings, for my family's, that I've got this unbreakable sort of connection with the club and with the supporters and everything, because not just because that moment, obviously I played 400 games and so forth and won a promotion, but that as a personal thing was just, it was just a perfect way for me to go out. I couldn't have written it any better, maybe it being a winning goal. I think it would have been the only thing, yeah. But yeah, that was it. My family were there. My dad and my mum and dad had come up for the game because it was my last game and all that sort of thing. And then my dad's trying to convince me I can play another year because, look, son, you've still got it.
How old were you when you scored that?
I was 40. Yeah,
40.
So I was 40 in the October. So I'd have been, going towards my 41st. And I said, Dad, I've played 8 minutes in the last 4 months and scored a free kick. That's not enough to carry on playing. So, but it was great that everyone's got that memory, and and people do talk about it quite often. But I think that and winning the league at North End in my first full season, because I think I was 28 at that stage. I'd never won a promotion, never been in a successful team. It's what I come to Preston for, and getting the trophy at Deepdale in the last home game against Millwall was, I just thought, yeah, I've finally done it, and it was brilliant scenes.
Which manager got the best out of you at North End?
David Moyes, by a long shot. He was, turned a lower league journeyman into eventually a Premier League player and an international, really, even though it was, the Premier League come many years after that, but without playing for him for 3 years and coming to Preston North End in the first place, none of that stuff would happen. I know I wasn't good enough as a player to get to those levels without some sort of help and support and direction and guidance. I needed that. I recognised that in myself. I felt I was a good player when I was at Luton, but I'd only played in the bottom two divisions. I knew I was a good player, but I knew there was something missing from a game. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. David Moyes put his finger on it many times. As soon as I met him, told me what I wasn't good at, what he'd improved me with, me to do, and and it was hard work. It was hard work, and he was extremely persistent, because he could have given up on me, because I could be a bit of a I could fight back against him pushing me from time to time. I felt I was a senior player and this, that, the other, but it was my own ego. It was ridiculous, really, because it's why I came to Preston, really, to win things and to be a better player and play at a high level. And so if he'd have given up on me after a year of 18 months of me snapping back and mouthing off every now and then I wouldn't have had the career. But I think he was so persistent with me and showed me what it was like to be a real professional. Allied to the other players that were in that squad at the time, the whole environment was like that. You know what I mean?
Mellor! Neil Mellor scored! Preston take the lead! And that's exactly what it means to Neil Mellor to score in the West Lancashire derby.